I'm starting by tidying up some of my edges and redefining bits and pieces of the vessels. I'm trying to establish some lights and darks and to make sure that I've got a light side and a dark side. So here I'm adding some highlights to the left, and my darker side and my shadow side will be on the right. I'm still keeping a very flat bottom on that cup to try and preserve that naive, childlike quality by having the bottom of the cup flat. I've decided that blue background of the tablecloth is too dark, so I'm going to go over that again in a lighter blue, and I'm trying to leave some of the edges next to the cup peeking through so that it's got a slight dark blue outline because I don't want perfect edges. At the moment you can't really tell, there's a vase of tulips coming off the page here on the left, so I'm redefining some leaves and I will work on the glass vase, and I'm also adding another tulip just to make that side read a little bit more sensibly. And here I'm doing the table in a dark green. I'm now going over the teapot just to thicken up the paint and make the surface a bit richer. And I'll also add some shadows in and add some darker pink to the right to give that teapot a shadow side as well. Now I'm working on the spoon and just defining the shape a little bit more and adding in a few shadows, a few highlights, just to give it a little bit of form. Now, I must apologise here because I forgot to film a little bit in between. As you can see, I decided that the tablecloth needed a placemat, and so I've coloured that in yellow. And I've decided I didn't like the green table underneath the blue tablecloth, so I have done that brown. And now I'm using a pink polychromos pencil to add some shadow to the cup and add some pattern, just by doing some little crosses and some little lines. Now I'm using a darker colour pencil just to add a little shadow underneath the spoon, and that just grounds it a little bit on the surface of the painting. And do the same here with the teapot, just a little dark shadow on the bottom and along the shadow side, and the same with the cup. Now I'm using an oil pastel to draw some dots onto the surface of the placemat just to add some pattern. And you'll see in a minute that I will get out a cotton wool bud and sort of squish the oil pastel further into the surface of the placemat. And doing that kind of sets the pastel right into the surface instead of having it just sitting on top of the surface of the paint. Now I'm using a Posca pen to add some more details. I'm just drawing a circle around each of my spots, which will add a really subtle element to the pattern. And I'll use another thicker Posca pen to add some pattern to the teapot. Here I'm using a fine tip Posca pen to add a little bit of scallop detail around the edge of the placemat. Just adding some finishing touches, a little bit of yellow to brighten up the tulips, and then adding some darks and some lights to the leaves with oil pastels. And finally, I'm removing the masking tape, and you'll see where the masking tape gets a little bit stuck. I bring out my hairdryer and apply a little bit of heat to the masking tape, and it's much easier to pull off that way.